Hi everyone, today I am doing a lesson on quotation marks. How I would use this in my actual classroom is, it's going to be mostly for writing. In this lesson, we talk about using quotations with dialogue, with quoting straight from text, and also with introducing titles of works. I think in my classroom, overall, it's going to be used mostly for quoting text when we do essays over novels or whatnot. That's what this is going to be mainly beneficial for. But overall, I mean, punctuation is extremely important for students to learn. The University of Sussex says that punctuation makes all of our meaning clear with stress, intonation, rhythm, pauses, all of that. And just overall, like, it affects the way the reader is going to read your writing because they don't know when you're stopping or when you're going or anything like that. So not only are we looking at quotation marks here, but we're also looking at commas and periods and where we put those within quotation marks. So it all just kind of melds together and it needs to be one big happy family. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let me share my screen with all of you. Give me one. All right, there we go. Now that you guys have done the little exit ticket here, we're just going to go through it together and see what you got and see what we can work with here. So, first question, which sentence uses quotation marks correctly? We'll look at them here. Does anybody have an idea of what they think? No? Okay, well, let's go over it together. So, the first one here, quotation at the beginning of I brought chips, good. Said Jordan, comma, quotation mark, and salsa for the party, period, quotation mark. Okay, so we definitely like the period before the quotation mark here. But I'm not too sure about that little comma. Is that supposed to go there? Does anybody know? We'll go to the next one. Okay. This one, quotation mark. I brought chips, comma, quotation mark. Said Jordan, comma, quotation mark, and salsa for the party, period, quotation. That one looking better for everybody? Yeah. All right, and then next, comma, quotation mark at the end of chips. There's no comma after Jordan. And then quotation mark, period, quotation mark. And then lastly, the only quotation marks we have is over said Jordan. So I don't know if that one's going to be right for everybody. What are we thinking? I'm thinking B. Let's see. Let's see if you guys are right. Secondly, here, rewrite this sentence, add commas, quotation marks, and period as needed. I don't like poetry, but Fire and Ice by Robert Frost is probably my favorite. Okay, well, this one's obviously quoting a work here. So we're going to do I don't like poetry. Oh, spelled that wrong. But what do we think? Quotation marks over Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice, since that is the work by Robert Frost. There we go. I guess I should write the whole thing out, shouldn't I? There we go. I think that's right, y'all. Next, we are doing this one. What sentence uses quotation marks correctly again? All right, here. I can't believe it's Friday. It's already Friday. Exclamation point quotation. Okay. What do we think about that one? I like that one. We'll keep going though. Oh, this one doesn't have any quotation marks, so that one's not right. This one looks okay from the beginning, but then we come over here and look at this. The exclamation point is after the quotation mark. Nope. And then next, we're completely missing one of our quotations. So I think we're going to go with A for this one. What do you guys think? Good? Okay. All right. And then which sentence uses it again? Let's see here. Oh, this one's a little bit harder. I just finished reading the book, comma, quotation, said Sam, comma, quotation, and it was amazing. Oh, there it is again. This is tricky right here. I hope you guys didn't get that when you did it yourself. So that one's a no. Quotation, I just finished reading the book, comma, quotation, said Sam, period. and then immediately a quotation. What do you guys think about that? No? I'm thinking the same. Next quotation, blah, 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 blah. Comma quotation, said Sam, comma, quotation, and it was amazing. That one's looking good. And then again, this one does not have quotation marks right here where we need them. So I think I'm going to go with C. Okay, and then this one, we're rewriting again. Dumbledore said, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Okay, so obviously we're going to start with Dumbledore said, and then do I just add a quotation right here, or what do you guys think I should do? Comma right here, and then the quotation. Good. All right, and then since this, I don't know if you guys are going to get this right when we do it. That's okay, because we didn't really get to explaining that yet, but you need to capitalize the H since it is the beginning of the sentence that he said, even if it's not technically in the beginning of our sentence here. Hold on, let me just copy and paste this. I don't know why I'm writing it all out. But yeah, make sure that you capitalize that H since it's the beginning of his sentence. So there we go, and then period and a quotation mark. Perfect. And then obviously the last three y'all had to do on your own. Add your own example of dialogue. I'm just going to put like a K there so that we're able to submit this and make sure the first 5 are good. Add your own example of quoting text. I told you guys you could have done the book thief or whatever from the shelf as long as it was just like one little line there. All of you were fine with that. Put another K. And then add your own example of introducing a title of the work, just like we did up here with Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. I told you guys it's mainly poems that are going to be in quotes. A lot of movies, books, things like that are going to be in italics. So, okay. Oh, well, I can't submit it, but that's okay. You guys did an amazing job, and I'm very proud of you. So, thank you very much, and goodbye.